Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I gotta put my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room? A monkey? Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like he stole the ventriloquist ring. So, I was saying that the witness had the monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put down the whip sometimes and read the court record. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'll be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be in the market for a new roommate. Order! Order! I said order! Miss von Karma! Where's the bus in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it's entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! Mr. Wright's argument was so circular I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There is no denying that. Ow! Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forget that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That is true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you down now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were only two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? That's the bust, of course. He saw Max Ow! I asked who the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mon frère. That's actually not mon frère, but mon frère. Mo said he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. I can a tiny little bit of French. A little bit, but un petit peu. Un petit peu. I passed my French exam in high school. By some sort of miracle, I guess. I have no idea how I passed it, but I did. It was my... I have no idea how I managed to pass it, because it was my worst subject. I even got a good grade on it, like comparatively speaking, because all I did was I took the dictionary, I took the textbook, I read the textbook and found the words in the dictionary and put it together into a text that somehow made coherent enough sense for me to pass with what essentially is a C. A little bit above C, like C+. But I have no idea how that happened. I was just bullshitting that exam and I got a C+, essentially speaking. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why I couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one of the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter how we put it on the bust. Just wait 1 minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of utmost importance to who did this, don't you agree? Oh, he caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? Well, there's only one person who could have. Fool! Him? You are saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry? That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust. Place the cloak isn't the right way of putting it. Then what would have been the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I finally put it all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. No, Mina. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box to the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ventrilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now, this is where the magic happens. At the very instant the bus hit the victim, you just wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. Yeah, it's bullshit, but hey, let's just pull something out. This circus isn't over yet. No, you're quite right there. What? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, He had no idea that Mo saw the bus being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't even see out the window. So he just kept pulling the bus up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into into the sky came to be. So, you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the scene of the crime. Acro, it could only have been you. Acro's been playing mind games with us all, with all of us. He sure has. I just love this deadpan expression Maya has here. It is so good. Is this really happening? Can someone wake me up from this nightmare? But he has come to the end of his rope now. I mean, I need to extract it and I need to actually do some things. I want to go to bed. Oh? Yeah, like that. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this courtroom, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there could be only one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. That's enough talk among yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just explains all. The theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday? He testified that the criminal he saw was fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There is only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense if you look at it that way. Then he did indeed see the silk hat. Well, sort of. Fine, you got one. But what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what the ventriloquist said in court. He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like you to see and try and explain that one away. You can do it, Nick. Oh, can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses could end up on the back of the bust. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the backside of the bust. Order! Order! This is quite a shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still seems a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this hole for a while and see where it leads. Let's do it, this Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're a bit off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the Wingmaster. Anyone with any relation to this circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way for someone like this. There's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the Ringmaster. Yep, we doubt that. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the Ringmaster and his life up until now. Oh, what do you do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the Ringmaster. Acro's motive? It seems that this craze isn't over just yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. And that's a good time for me to stop. Because I have 10 minutes left of my stream today. So, the thing is, we will probably... Actually, I have... All the cases are long like this. There are 2 days of investigation, basically, or 2 sections of investigation per case, and 4 sections of court case, or court proceedings per case. That's how it is for every single thing. Well, maybe 2 pieces of investigation. It's long, but the cases do get longer and longer as the game goes on to just reach the climax. But yes, I feel you. So here's the thing though. Tomorrow, actually, I'll do the rest of this thing because we are not swimming tomorrow, and I don't know if I'll be able to stream on Wednesday. So, because we'll be swimming on Wednesday instead, so that means I'll be streaming tomorrow. Now, I'll also be streaming on Thursday because Tenho is not at home because she has this thing at her work, or maybe she comes home late. So I'll also be streaming on Thursday. Well, you just have to join us for that. I mean, you have an hour for me to wrap up this case if you don't want to, like, see the end of this, because this case is just... I mean, we're almost done, but it's still a little bit long drawn. Let's go to the title screen and go to the wonderful... No, not this one. Oh, this is a scene I haven't used in like loads and loads, many years. Let's go to this one and then we can go to this one. No, I guess not. Didn't work. I was hoping to get the thing going. But the thing with that one is that, I mean, if we go over to it. This here scene is actually for playing League of Legends, and I haven't played League of Legends in like 4 years, so it's a little bit out of date. Actually, it is very out of date. I have no idea if these like things on the side here actually match up with how the game is anymore. But we can see the YouTube snark. So if I were to use this one, I would actually have to modify it substantially. Yeah, this layout is very nice. I mean, I do like it a lot. But but as I said, it's for playing League of Legends, and I've tried to get in contact with the one who created, like, a commission to make this thing, but she hasn't responded, and I suspect that she is no longer making these overlays. She's also the one who made all of my things, like this scene and the ending scenes and all the other things. I commissioned her to make this a couple of years ago. But I don't think she has, I should think she's left that business to pursue other ventures. Which is a little bit sad, because I wanted to have her make updated scenes for me. But that's just how it goes. Yeah, I mean, this camera right now is, I'm just gonna have to tilt it a little bit like this. This is how it goes. I mean, the camera is, I mean, I did use it yesterday, and I haven't, for the cooking stream, and I haven't really like readjusted it for being in here, so that's just how it goes. So, oh, I actually not mind playing on this keyboard sometime, but I mean, I do have 10 minutes, but at the same time, I'm not confident. Besides, the thing is, yeah, I know, but I don't have an. This is just a white thing. They'll just be like this for a while. Yeah, you're not the only one, Pex. This we're all ready for it to be over to actually get to the superb case that is the ending of this game. Seriously, don't miss that case. It's amazing. It is my third favorite case in the entire series, that case. Actually, it's tied for third, together with the last case of the last game. There are just so many good. Like, the last cases in every single game are amazing. Hey there, Kaimo. You are late, indeed. But yes, I would like to see if I can... maybe I can take this other scene here, my League of Legends scene, and actually modify it, especially like the minimap area, to become a camera section. But I will need to modify it heavily, so it's no longer like for League of Legends. I do want to try it though, but I will need to fix myself some Photoshop and some other things. Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna test something. We have some time. Let's see if I still have League of Legends installed on my computer, and I can see if this thing actually works. I do have it installed. So let's see if, how long it takes for me to update League of Legends. I'm not going to play a game, but let's see how it is. Maybe just go into like a something so we can see how it goes. Because I haven't played League of Legends in... yeah, if it's like... Oh gods. How badly am I lagging right now? It goes rather quickly, but I'm downloading like 2 gigabytes of data. We're gonna do all of this. Excellent. You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So this scene was actually at first used to be the League of Legends client, just right around here instead. So instead of camera, and I just repurposed it into this. I mean, do drag your friend over. I mean, sure. Have your friend join us, become one of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. I mean, the worst I could do is like... Actually, It also means subjecting the person to all the bad puns of Mina and potentially Tenho when she's around the ghost. So yeah, that's also a thing. Yeah, and minus lewd. The vulgarness of Mina. That was the humanity. But so I'm just like, of course I'll be editing this out of the YouTube VODs, but still. But I want to actually see how this. Actually, now that we have started here, I would actually want to see how this goes, because yeah, I haven't used the scene in ages. And well, you typically just hang out, fair and well. You're not all that often like sitting in the chat because you're always late home or you're training. Not that I blame you. Exercise is important. I do swim and all that stuff after all now. So we're a little bit over halfway now. It's about 2 minutes left. I think I actually have. Yeah, I do. I still have the scene for League of Legends, like the entire source thing, so it'll show up here instead. TFT streamer. Now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the Twisted Tree. Wait, what? Oh, team fight tactics. I haven't. You see what I'm talking about? I haven't done anything. Yeah, I know, fair and well. It's just how it is. Yeah, as I've heard. But I'm like, whenever I played League of Legends, I've always been the one to play the, the Summoner's Rift. I never enjoyed ARAM. I enjoyed it a little bit in the beginning, like from time to time, but I never enjoyed like these special game modes all that much. I was always like playing Summoner's Rift, being super like competitive, not toxic. I could handle lots of games. I would just grind that ranked ladder. Oh, okay. So almost done. But the thing is that I don't think that any of the champions I play would be. I'm not sure if they're viable anymore. I mean, it's been a while, and I also would need to relearn all the items. Oh, here we go. So let's see how this goes. If I can actually remember the passwords and stuff. No. Nope. Oh, okay. Come on. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work. Let's see if I can find it. Search. There we go. This one. Yay, there we go. Okay, let's see. If I do like this. No, that's not that. We're going to go back to this one. Oh, we don't have it here actually. Never mind then. Okay, let's see if I can add this source again. Game capture, no. Video, window capture. Yeah, I think it's this one. Add a new source. Let's see, lol. Client. Oh. Yikes. Okay, I think I got it. There we go. So this is how it looked originally. Let's see. I have no idea how anything looks anymore, how anything works or anything looks. But yeah, this is how I used to do things with the music and below and stuff. So let's do
Oh, repairing game. There's just so much stuff there. I haven't seen any of this.